Hey everyone, I'm here with my good friend Christopher Schorr, the author of Black Eye for America, an awesome book about CRT. Chris, first of all, let's just start out with, what is CRT?
So critical race theory is a Marxist theory of race in American society. So what that means, if you understand what communism is in the broad terms, right, you have the proletariat are oppressed by the bourgeoisie. That's the general theory in communism. What CRT does is it just substitutes in racial categories. So now you have white people oppressing all people of color, and that's like the architecture of the theory. It's essentially communism, but for race in America, right? And so within CRT, you have that sort of big picture theory, and then you have a series of claims that follow from it. And so one of them is systemic racism, right? And that's the idea, again, if racial oppression is what defines society, then everything is racist, right? You've got white supremacy, which is essentially the same argument here. They're not talking about Jim Crow. They're saying that today in American society, whites are on top. The system is designed to keep it that way. It's designed to keep people down, right? Other theories like whiteness as privilege or as property. So this notion that white people own whiteness as though it's like this tangible thing that profits them, and that they're fighting to preserve that power in American society, right? There's a focus on equity. And so a lot of people don't know what equity is. Equity is really just equal outcomes, and they pursue it at the expense of equality of opportunity and at the expense of meritocracy. So I brought this up, within, in an MMA match, you have equal rules for all parties involved.
Right.
One fighter wins, one loses. That's just how it goes. So the argument from a kind of CRT mindset and Ibrahim mindset would be to say that, well, if we notice that one group tends to win more than another, well, that means that the rules are racist. The rules have to be changed. So they're against color blindness, they're against equality, they're against equality under law. So that's kind of CRT at like a meta level.
Gotcha. Yeah. Next question. Where are you seeing that in Maryland schools, Maryland state schools specifically? Where are you seeing this? Because we hear about it all over the country, right? But you be an expert in this and living in Maryland with children, where are you seeing it?
Yeah, so you notice CRT has made its way into the curriculum. It's made its way into the books that are in the schools, whether it's in the middle schools and the high schools. There are books like Stamped and How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi. All American Boys, this book is anti-racist. Those are books, examples of books that are in Montgomery County Public Schools that have CRT themes just all throughout. You have the diversity training that faculty go through are really just saturated with CRT. You have classroom examples. So for example, students in Sherwood high school were given a white privilege test in class.
I remember that.
Right? You had this $500,000 anti-racism audit. Again, CRT just drips throughout this stuff. So it's all over. It's all in the schools. It's going to be increasingly in the schools. The National Teachers Association, the NEA, has come out all in for CRT. So unless we get active to stop it, it's going to continue to filter in. It's going to continue to shape and distort the way our children understand themselves and American society. Really.
So that's my last question for you. How, as parents, can we get active, or what should we do to help prevent this, eliminate this, fight this, battle this? Where are we at? What do we do?
Yeah, so there's really three things we can do, and we talk about this a lot in the book. So it's Dr. Carol Swain and myself wrote this book. Dr. Benjamin Carson was nice enough to write the foreword for us. So we have our final chapter in the book lists strategies that parents can use to fight CRT. We have, I would say, overall, there's three important strategies. The first one is learning what critical race theory is, and we present the resources in the book so that you can learn both from the opponents of CRT like myself, but also from the proponents themselves. So we have nothing to hide. We think you should go read what they're saying.
Awesome.
Because I trust people to figure this out on their own, right? And we present evidence to help you along that path. The second thing is get involved with the parents groups. There are a bunch of these groups now. When we started working on this, there weren't as many. Today, you have national groups like Moms for Liberty. You have No Left Turn in Education, which is a group I'm fond of. We have a local, and by the way, you can find them online. They're a national group, but they have a Maryland chapter. You can get involved with a local Montgomery County group. There's one called United Against Racism in Education. And I can, if you get a hold of Kyle, he can get a hold of me, and I can get you contact information for them. But we have to put pressure on school boards, on administrators. We have to get involved in the process. And then the third thing that we can do, and this is as important as the other two, is we have to get involved in politics, because ultimately this is going to have to be banned at the state level, right? This is racist indoctrination in the classroom. Other states have banned it. It's a heavy lift in Maryland. We all understand that, but it ultimately determined by who gets elected, which is determined by whether we show up and vote in November.
Yes, sir. Once again, you guys, Christopher Schorr, the author of Black Eye for America, awesome book. Once again, thank you for speaking to us, letting us know, giving us your expertise on this, man. It's a very important subject, and I felt like this video needed to be shared, so thank you so much.
Thank you.